And those were the gates that I used to walk past and wonder what was in there. So it turns out they do still run buses past here. Hey up guys, well, we're here, we're always here. Now this gate behind me is somewhere I used to walk past quite often as a kid. I used to go and see my grandparents who lived in Siddle. And if I didn't walk past, then I'd be on a bus going past. I used to go on different routes back then, I'm sure, back in the 80s. Anyway, I used to look through that gate and I used to wonder, obviously when I was walking past, and I used to wonder what's through there. What is it? Why is it closed off? Why is it so forbidden? Why is it this? Why is it that? Well, here we are. Easily 30, maybe 40 years later. We're down here. We're actually here. And it was a heck of a lot more easy to get into than I imagined it would have been. And that is to say that we're at the old Halifax railway station. I wanted to say railway museum there. No, it's definitely the old Halifax railway station. Now, I've had a look around. You've got this wire fence in here. There's no obvious way to get in. Well, not into the building. I'm not sure we would want to go into the building. Well, maybe we would, maybe we wouldn't. But it's just a car park. Now, I'm sure some of you may remember that in the 80s, and I think it was down here, there was a museum, and it was a working horse museum, and it was pretty much exactly as it sounded. So I suppose that would have been held on this bit of ground here, these cobbles, and obviously in that building there, the former railway station, which I've been led to believe, from what I've read, it was a railway station for only a few years, and then it became a goods yard. We do have another building on there. And that's attached to the new old railway station that's still in use. It's also attached to Eureka. I'm not sure if we can get on there, we'll have a look in a minute, but fascinating stuff. A lot easier than I thought it would be to get down here, but no less impressed. And then just one thing that I've just kind of thought of, and I'm not sure quite, when you look at these here, so you've got these wooden lats here. Is this following an old railway? Would there been a railway line on here? I'm not sure there would have been, because if you think about it, then those lines behind me, if you follow them round, well, they'd have gone through that wall there, essentially on that road. I don't know the name of that road, but I know that Water Lane is down there, and that gets you to Siddle. So yeah, I don't think that they are former railway line. I'm so happy to be down here at last. It's a real shame that we can't get in there, but from what I can see, if you look just there, you've got trees and whatnot there, so I think they may just be full of plants that have gotten out of control. As I mentioned earlier, there was the Working Horse Museum down here, but I think that only lasted about 10 years or so, and then it became, well, who knows what, I'm not sure what. I'll start with this big forbidden secret that I'd never get into, and then certainly recently, as I'm sure you can see, it's become a car park. So we'll just have a quick wander around. Not sure what we can see. Again, maybe there may be a way in that I missed earlier, but no breaking and entering, none of that. But if there's a way in, there's a way in, you know. Don't be naughty, but you can be cheeky. Right, so yeah, this is it. It doesn't look like there is a way in, but again, coming back to this being railway lines, it looks about the right width. They look like they could have been. They obviously haven't been used for however many years. I suppose if it were a goods yard, then it could be not quite a full-on train, but like a little, you know, like a little side train. Maybe just trailers came off and then got inspected, and then went off into the big wide world, or came from the big wide world and came down here and got inspected. So you can see there's a sign there. It's something to do with Eureka, the Children's Museum, potentially. I might be wrong. But yeah, I dare say they've had a few people trying to look with this place over years, because there's lots of little panels and things like these ones just centre here, so they've had to reinforce them and then put double white mesh fencing around and all of that. Now our little monkey mate seems to think we can get on down there, but I think he might mildly be onto something. Let's just have a quick peek. Oh, perfect timing, mate. I don't know. Come home, puppy. I don't know if they're showing up on camera. I've got there's a lot of brown and green, but there certainly looks like there's a couple of railway sleepers there. So I'm just having a cheeky peek through there. Well, it's overgrown to buggery around here. I'm sure you can see that. Now, just about there, the bright bit in the middle of the screen, it's behind a fence, is where the current railway line is, the one that's active, the one that'll take you from York to Manchester and various other destinations, I'm sure. I've got to wonder, this drop down here, was that former railway line when this station was active? And then this whole area here, where we are behind the building, is this also a railway line? Now, just as we thought, maybe we could get around back, maybe we could get a look in this building. It's not looking too good. By heck, there's a lot of nettles around here, and the back of my front and sides and backs of my legs are letting me know about it. But yeah, maybe if it was just me on my Todd, I might chance it. But I've got to think of an obvious way with Doggy, because I can't have him getting stranded and getting lost and all of that. It is a real shame though. But, as I say, it's nice to get down here, nice to have a look, nice to see this building. And of course, what we will do, once we've had a bit of a wander around here, and we'll take a nice steady walk back home. And as any of you know, we're not too far away from Canal. Turns out there is a break in the fence. It also turns out it's like a bloody jungle. But what that means is they'll have to come back in winter when it's all receded, eh? Now I know it's easy peasy to get into. At least one more attempt, eh? Again, not really wanting to get into building. He says kind of not really truthfully, but just to see you run back. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to use this technology to our advantage if we can. I'm going to try and get a couple of shots of inside, because there's these windows, as there are one or two around. I don't know what it'll look like until I edit it, but let's see what we can get. Let's use this selfie stick to its full potential, eh? Well, I wonder what were on those photos, on those videos, looking through those windows. I didn't go through every one. As you can see, there are a good few windows around the building. It's a shame we can't get into this side, because this looks like it could have been the old ticket office. And I bet there'll be some amazing stuff in there. There might even be like things on walls saying, you know, ticket to Newcastle, ticket to wherever, ticket to this, ticket to that. She's got a ticket to ride. But yeah, anyway, that's what we're going to do. Have a little wander on. What an amazing adventure it's been. And who knows, maybe one day we'll come down here. This building might be repurposed again. Only time will tell. Maybe if you're watching this video from the year 28 to 2130, then you'll go, oh yeah, that hillside looks familiar. And I can see that outside of my bedroom or something. I'm just trying to get a tag on this little red brick building here. Not entirely sure, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was possibly, if not public toilet, then it may be in like facilities for the railway workers. Maybe it started out as one and ended up as the other. Maybe it was just the office when it was a goods yard. Again, so much is lost to history, at least with a lot of this stuff. It would be relatively easy, I imagine, to have a look online and to find information about it, what it used to be and all of that. As I say, I found some info and it scratched that itch of what I'd wondered since a child. And well, here we are today, actually really giving that itch a good scratch. not just the itches from the blooming nettles. Right, so that's it. Halifax Town Centre's first railway station. It's a shame it's gone to rack and ruin. You know, we're a different period back then and things changed. It was like where the canals and the railways and the cars, it all came along pretty quickly. Here's hoping that one day something positive will come out of this building. Whether that's a museum, whether it's some kind of renovation project, whatever, I don't know. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe, a comment and a share. It all really helps with the algorithms. Right, catch you at the seaside. Hey! Yeah, I suppose it makes sense. That would have been the original railway line that would have served the old railway station that we've just been at. And then I don't know if you saw, but that's the current railway line, the bridge there.